quilting friends. I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome back to school. I'm so happy you are here. Guess what? Today we have a wonderful lesson for you. You have learned last 2 days so many incredible things already. Learn how to cut, learn how to keep your 1/4-inch seam allowance accurate, and learn how to strip piece 4 patches. I'm so pleased. But one of the biggest lessons you have learned that the simple 9 patch could be a basic for a designs of many choices. And today, guess what? We have another beautiful block that is based on the 9 patch, and I cannot wait to share that one with you. This is gonna be so much fun. For anybody that just joining us in, welcome, come right in. Everybody's welcome. Make sure you visit our blog for all the information about this fun event. It's a back to school event and we're reviewing all the fun things about quilting. And now you can get a kit from our website. We have a regular kit and pre-cut kit. And with the kit, you can make a beautiful quilt with me. You do need a pattern. You can also use your own scraps. You do need a pattern for the directions how to cut it. The pattern calls Valley Range, and that's the quilt that we're working on. And today's block, you know me. I don't go with the flow. I pick and choose whichever blocks I wanted to do with you and wanted to pull you in and have some fun. And today's block, it's little monkey wrench block, and this one is block number 10. So it's our 3rd lesson and block number 10. I want to show you the 2 color options that you can work on. This is the plain option, this is the twinkle, that's the pre-cut kit. And with this kit, we had all the pieces pre-cut, and today we're gonna be making half square triangles for the first time. I'm so excited. So fun new block, half square triangles for the first time. Oh, I cannot wait. We also going to make a rectangle units for this sides of the block, and then the center is this beautiful raspberry. For our scrappy one, I also chose nice light blue, the scrappy blue right here with the little polka dot of a light, and our half square triangles are gonna be so much fun. And again, soft purple for the center. The scrappy kit is so beautiful. Make sure you visit our blog every day to find out which block we're doing the next day, so that way you can be well prepared for school by cutting your fabrics before you come to the classroom. And where do you find the information? When you have purchased your kit, in your kit you had all of the fabric cutting on this chart to help you cut it correctly, but also you following the pattern. So for example, I have this beautiful fabric right here, and from this fabric I'm gonna be cutting 2.5-inch squares and strips for here. For now, I'm only need 2.5-inch squares for this block, so save the rest of the fabric nice. Oh, if you have it open, if you have it pressed, you can right away cut the other pieces, set it to the side. These strips are with our one of the last blocks that we're doing, so you're gonna need them later on. But if you already have it pressed, why not cut it right away? Another fabric that I have right here for the scrappy one is this beautiful fabric with the pins on it, and that fabric is 952-B, and from this fabric we have cut our half square triangles in 2 7/8. That's what you needed for today, but we also have cut triangles at 2 3/8, and we have some rectangles that we're gonna be cutting. So make sure when you're cutting it, when you're pressing the fabric, cut all your pieces, set it to the side, so soon enough you're not gonna have to do any homework. You're gonna just go ahead and grab those pieces and be ready to sew with us. I appreciate all our customers and everybody that is joining us, and I appreciate all my students that wanted to use the pre-cut kit, but also my students that want to cut it themselves. I'm proud of you guys, so keep going. So this is the block, we're working on it today. And with this block, we're gonna be making half square triangle units. For my scrappy quilters, the girls and guys that are using the scrappy kit, you could use triangle papers to make your half square triangles. I'm gonna go ahead and review just basic half square triangles. You have already learned in our lesson number 1 that a half square triangle is cut from a square, cutting once diagonally to get 2 half square triangles. And I took 2 half square triangles. They are in 2 different colors, and I'm gonna be sewing them together to 1 half square triangle unit. This edge is a bias, this is a straight grain. I'm placing my pieces right sides together, just like this. I like to keep my light on the top. I'm gonna be putting a pin right in the middle to hold everything in place, and I will prepare at least 4 of those units to sew one after the other. Using a chain sewing technique for half square triangle is huge, because with every one of them you get better and better and better. So you're repeating the same thing over and over. So what I like to do is chain sewing. I sew a whole chain of half square triangle. And another thing that I like to do is when I feed my half square triangle into my sewing machine under the foot and under the needle, I like to make sure that I start with a leader, where it's a little bit of piece of fabric, to make sure that I have something. And I also make sure that for half square triangle especially, I like to use a single hole blade for my sewing machine, so that way none of the pieces get pushed into my bobbin. It's so important. If you don't have one of those, make sure you position your half square triangle to start up right here, not all the way here, but right on it, so that way you have some room and those edges don't get frayed and pulled into your machine. You're gonna stitch straight down. You're gonna use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. As soon as you finish, you're gonna go ahead and have units like this, and it's gonna be time to press. I like to finger press first, but then I love to grab an ironing board. And I don't know how you guys like to iron, but I love using my wool ironing boards, and the small ones are so much fun. And I'm gonna place my half square triangle unit on it. I have my cute little handy dandy iron. I'm gonna gently press my seams, and that calls set in my seam. Okay, now look at this. I'm gonna open it up, finger press it, okay, and with a gentle press, I'm gonna go ahead from the top, press it down just like this. Make sure you get right into that edge to open all the way, and now you have a beautiful half square triangle unit. That's done. Don't pull it, don't push. Sometimes when you iron and when you start pulling on it, you will stretch the unit. You don't want to do that. You want a nice gentle pressing, and this cute little iron is so nice for half square triangle units. Look at all of the ones that I have made. The next step, I'm gonna put my ironing board to the side. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my bunny ears on my half square triangle units. Trim and trim, just like that. And you can do it one after the other, trim and trim. I'm also gonna go ahead and check the size to make sure that I am keeping up with my 1/4 inch seam allowance and everything looks correct. You can go ahead and also trim it right away if you wanted to. If something is not right, you can go ahead, place your ruler right over, match it up with the middle line right here, match it up with the sides, and with the rotary you can go ahead, check, and also trim those bunny ears. For some reason, I love to trim my bunny ears on my half square triangles with scissors. I sit and enjoy myself, listen to good music, get a nice drink of water to hydrate, and then I go ahead and clip those cute little bunny ears right there. Look at this. Now I have wonderful selection of 4 of those. This is what I need for 1 block. I'm gonna put them right here, and they're gonna be waiting for me to complete my second unit. This unit is made from 2 rectangles. I'm gonna cut the rectangles first. I'll use the pre-cut kit, and I'm gonna go ahead and place them right sides together. Again, just like cream on a coffee, I'm gonna keep my light on the top of my dark fabric. I'm gonna use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. As soon as I finish, I'm gonna gently finger press and then press it with my beautiful, beautiful iron. Now notice it. I'm gonna take my ruler and I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check if my measurements are correct. I want it to be 2.5 by 2.5. You can lay this down, put your ruler right over, check. Yep, it looks pretty good. I can trim gently. Oh, that's excellent. I make sure that this middle line at 1 1/4 matches my middle seam. I don't match to one side and then trim off the other. I want to center things up. Did you see what I did? I want to center it up. I'm going to equally trim here and trim here if needed. So right there, 2.25 by 2.5 by 2.5. That's the finished measurements for this unit. It's not a lot, but if you wanted to grow as quilter, you need to make sure that you cut and press and trim nicely, and everything would be nice and accurate. Look at that. I finished my unit. As soon as I finish first one, I wanted to chain sewing again and make sure I have 4 of those done for my block. Now it's time to line up our block, and you know the routine. You have made a 9 patch before, didn't you? We're gonna create 3 by 3 rows of units, starting with the center square, finishing with our half square triangles right here. Look at everything is lined up really nice. Seam allowances, push towards the dark when I can, and now I'm going to sew my units together. This is going to be my first row, second row, third row, and now you are a pro of laying everything one on the top of the other, just like this, pinning, center it up. So the same here, sew your rows together. I'm not gonna take more time on this because I can tell you getting ready to do more chain sewing and ready for your homework today. What it's going to be making more of those. We're gonna need 4 of the blocks total. Now my first row is done. My seam allowances are pushed towards the triangles, toward the center here and towards the triangles. Again, place it right sides together, pin, pin. Make sure you have perfect transitions and finish it up on this side the same exact way. And look at your cute little block. Isn't that sweet? We push the seam allowances in the opposite direction, and that center seam allowance is pushed towards. Follow the pattern if you would like to. If not, press your seam allowances open, and here you have your block on the back. So really fun and exciting. Like I said, for homework today, guys, you need to make 3 more of those and you will be ready for tomorrow. We will not be making more than 8 blocks, and there are only few of them that you have to make 8. If you have this pre-cut kit, time yourself and leave us a comment how long it takes you to make your blocks. I don't know, there may be a winners there, and you do not have to be the fastest. Anybody that leave a comment, we will go through all the comments and make sure we reward all our quilters that are working on those cute blocks every day, and let us know how long it takes them to do their homework. Happy quilting, and I look forward to see you tomorrow for another wonderful lesson.